going to show you a very cool card trick that I worked out a while back. I'm going to do the performance and then I'm going to show you how to do it. I'm going to spread the cards face up on the table so you can see that they look fairly mixed. And then I'm going to have you pick a card, any card you want. Now, for the purposes of this video, once again, I'll play the spectator. Let's say you chose that card. And it doesn't matter, you could have chose any one. Go ahead and show everyone. And take this magic marker and sign your name on the front of it, on the face, or write a word, a symbol, anything that will make this card unique, a one of a kind, that there's no possible way I could have a duplicate of that card. So once again, I'll sign it for you. I'm going to look at the card. It doesn't matter because I'm doing this performance from a magician's point of view to show you what happens. So I'm going to write my name on this card, and I'm going to draw a little smiley face and a couple little stars. So, you know, it's just a unique card. And now I'm going to have you place this card. You can see it right here. You can see it. Place the card on the top. And I'm going to do a couple cuts, and I'm going to bury your card into the deck. Now, your card is not on the top, and your card is not on the bottom. So it is somewhere in between. I want you to cut the deck. You cut the deck anywhere you want. And once again, I'm going to have to cut it for you, but you can cut it anywhere you want. Let's just say you cut it right there. Now go ahead and complete the cut. Now, wouldn't it be amazing if you cut to your card? Well, let's see. Well, that's not your card, but you know what this is? This is an indicator card indicating that we need to go 9 cards down. Count down 9 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, that's another indicator card. Queen represents 12, so we have to go 12 more cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Another indicator card. Now, your card could have been any one of these cards. It could still be in here. Let's count down 5 more cards. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wouldn't it be something if the 5th card was your card? 5. And that is my version of countdown. When you're done, once you straighten the deck out, you're clean. You can show the deck. There's nothing to hide. And that's it. Okay, here's the tutorial part on how to do this card trick. I named it Countdown. There's a couple other tricks called Countdown. There's a Countdown Force, and there's some other countdown trick, but this is how you do my version that I came up with. This trick requires you to use a block stack. A block stack is a pre-organized stack of cards. All you need to do is stack 17 cards. There's a 17 card stack right there. And these are the cards. I'm going to show you the order that you put them in. The rest of these cards are just random cards. They don't matter. Here is the order of the block stack. And I'm going to explain the mathematics of how this works. So we'll remove these cards, and you can write all these cards down. If you want to pause it right here, you can write all these cards down. If you notice, that these cards go ace, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, jack, queen. There's 12 cards here. If you want to use these same exact cards, that's fine. But you can see how the suits are randomized. The next card this is your indicator card. This is your first indicator card. That's going to go there. And your secondary indicator card is going to go there. And then these three cards, a king of spades, 8 of diamonds, and 2 of clubs. These are your buffer cards. They're going to go there. Now the way this math works, let's say this is the chosen card. And we're going to force it to this position. As the rest of these cards are placed here, it doesn't matter what cards you land on here, even if it lands on the 3 or a king. Let's say it lands on a king here. That's number 13. You're going to count down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. You land on your indicator card, which tells you 5 more cards is their card. If it happens to land on a 3 here, you would count 1, 2, 3, lands on the 10, which is going to send you back to this 5. No matter which card you land on, it's going to send you to this 5. If, for instance, let's say a 7 wound up being a 7 here, or you counted down from a card in here and it got you to the 9. Well, you count 9 more cards, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You're at the 5 of clubs, your first indicator card, which tells you 5 more cards is their card. Now we're going to disguise this block stack a little bit more. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull the 10 out and we're going to replace it with the 3 of diamonds. We're going to put the 3 of diamonds in there. And we'll throw this into the random stack. Now it's starting to look a little disguised there, but still, if it lands on the 3, it's going to go 1, 2, 3, land you on the 7, which takes you to the 5 of clubs, which takes you to their chosen card, so it doesn't matter. And then we're going to replace this 6 with the ace of spades. So now we've substituted a couple cards, but if it goes to the ace, let's say you counted to the ace, it took you to the ace, you're going to count 1, which is going to take you to the 5, which that 5 is going to take you to this 5, which is going to take you to, it doesn't matter, it's going to work out. The reason for the secondary indicator card is because when you fan the deck out, here, let's put this on the bottom. Now this is your order. You got your stack on the bottom all the way to the Queen of Hearts right there. When you fan this out, they can pick any card that they like, except for these last 4 cards. If they pick one of these, it's not going to work out. They can pick any one of your other, I believe it's 13. They can pick any one of these cards. The only thing that'll happen now is instead of the last indicator card being the 5 of clubs, it's going to be the 4 of hearts, which will take you 4 cards to there. So when you see the 5 of clubs, you know 5 cards is to their card. Or if you see the 4 of hearts, it's going to be 4 cards to the chosen card. So this is your secondary. This allows them to actually choose one of these cards. It doesn't matter, even if one of these cards is missing. The only thing that's going to happen is it's going to send you to the 4 instead of the 5. If you're fanning the deck out for them to choose a card, try to retain these last cards over here so they don't choose them. Now if you get somebody that you're fanning it out and giving them a choice of all these cards and they want to dig into here and pull one of these cards out, alright, don't fight it. There's a way out of this. If they start digging at these cards that you're holding real tight and they want to choose any one of these, just go ahead and open up these last 5 cards so you can see them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And say, what, you want one of these cards? If they choose the 5, you're fine. Anything from the 5 this way, they're fine. You're fine. If they choose one of these cards, all right, they're probably not going to choose it, but this is your way out in case they do. Don't fight it. Let them choose it. You have these 4 cards memorized. You already know what they are. This is the 2 of clubs, this is the 8 of diamonds, this is the king of spades, and this is the 4 of hearts. So if they choose one of these cards, let's say, oh, they squeeze out, hey, you want that one? Sure. You already know it's the king of spades. So now you can do one of two things. If it's all up, you see the king of spades. The one way you can do this is just instantly go into a really cool mentalism trick where you magically guess their card and they're like, what the, yeah. Or if they're being a little bit of a pain, yeah, you don't want to be mean to people, but sometimes they try to act like they're smarter than the magicians. So if they're being a real pain around their friends and everything, you just, all right, go ahead, pick that card, and then you tell them to go ahead and show their friends. And when they're showing their friends, you just blurt out and say, oh, wait, it's not going to work. You flashed your card. It's the king of spades. We're going to have to do this over again. And then, as their friends are, you just simply take their card back and you put it back in its position and you're good to go. Here's how to do the 2 shuffles I did in the very beginning before I did the spread, where it shows all the cards mixed up. One thing about, before I show you those shuffles, but one thing about using a stacked deck or a deck that has a stacked block in it, you don't want to use this as your first trick. You want to have already done a couple tricks and you've shuffled the deck several times. They've probably shuffled it, so they get conditioned to knowing, hey, nothing's wrong with this deck. And if you don't know how to do the false shuffles that I'm going to show you, you can do like this, do a couple tricks, and then start to put your deck away, and put it in your bag or your back pocket, and then immediately do it. What you're doing is a deck switch. Switch to the other deck and come, wait, let me show you one more card trick. And now you pull out your stacked deck. All right. Nobody's going to question it after this point. You've already done a couple tricks, and they've shuffled, you've shuffled. It's like, what? Aaron, you just come out and you spread it out. Look, they're all mixed. And then you start your trick. Anyway, here is the shuffles I did in the beginning. It's real close to a Zaro shuffle. Only remember, you're not trying to keep the entire deck in order. All you need to do is keep your 17 card stack in order. Now this shuffle takes a little practice, but what you do is you remember our block stack is on the bottom here, 2 of clubs. Just give the deck about a half a cut and slide it over like this. Bring the top over. Now on a regular Zorro shuffle, you're going to want to do a split cut where you cut it, your index finger retains that first card, and you split cut it like this. You shuffle it and this goes back underneath like this. In this case, all you're doing is trying to retain your 17 card block at the bottom. So it doesn't matter what happens to these cards. These are all random cards. You can actually mix them. It doesn't matter. So just forget the split cut. Just bring half your deck around. What you do is now you want to drop a few cards on this side and go ahead and finish your shuffle until, normally you want to wait to that last card, but in this case it doesn't matter because we're only retaining the bottom ones. At this point, once you get to here, you shove these forward, these few cards, you shove them forward and a little bit here. Now you can only see this from the back side because I'm going to use my hand to cover from the front view. You bring this around, and actually what you're doing is splitting these apart. They've all come apart. Put your hand in front like this. You're going to have to hide that, and you bring these up and shove them right up underneath there. And you can see that you've retained your bottom stack here. Here's from the front. Notice how I bring my hand over and cover, and you just shoot them in, and we've retained. There's our stack, completely retained. Now you can do that a couple times. There's the stack. As you spread them, make sure you try to get these last 3 cards out And if you've exposed a little bit of a sequence right there, just let them look at it and start doing this and shove them under like you're going around showing all the cards. Give them a few seconds to examine them, that they are completely mixed. Little to their knowledge, you have a stack right here in the order that you want. So the best place to hide something from somebody is right in front of their face. So now you do a fan, spread it out. They can choose any card they want except for these last four. So let's say they choose that card. You're going to give them the magic marker. They are going to, whoops, this is a retractable. Let them, let's see, we'll just draw a couple bigger mustaches on this guy. And write my name. And so they have their signed card. They can show it. It's very unique. When you have them place it into the deck, do a swing cut about half of the deck. Remember, your stack is on the bottom. Your stack is about 1/3 of the deck. So if you do it at halfway, you got about a 9-card buffer zone so that you don't dig into your stack. As you swing cut the top part over, this is where they're going to place their card. Now, what you're going to do is, as you swing it over, you're going to catch a pinky break on this top card. Now, it doesn't matter what that card is, because remember, the top 35 cards are just random cards. They don't matter. So you're going to do a half, swing it over, slide this over, catch a pinky break on that card. You can see on the back, I have a pinky break. Just slide the card over, stick your pinky, and pull it back, and make sure it's closed along the front here so it's not obvious. Now have them place their card on top. Now, since it's kind of like the Marlowe tilt, now because you have one card with a pinky break, when you set this one on top, it doesn't look like you're catching a pinky break. That looks like the top of the deck. So when you place it on, you can even shake it around a little bit. And when you come over, remember, this is your stack plus a few random cards on top. This was on the bottom. Now this is coming over on the top. As you place it on the top, you're going to place it on top of those two cards, the one that you caught a pinky break on, and then their card is the next card. Grab it with your thumb right here and lay that to the table. Now these are all random cards, so you can mix these. It doesn't matter. You're going to just come off of the back here. Here, I'll show you from the back view. You're going to swing over the top half, catch a pinky break on that card, have them place their card on the top there. This goes on top. You still have the break. Grab this from the bottom. This goes on the table. Now these are random cards, so you can split these in half anywhere you want. Throw it there, throw it there. What you've done is controlled their card to second from the bottom, right underneath your 17-card stack. So you place the deck down. You can show the top card. That's not their card. You can show the bottom card. That's not their card. It's actually the next one down. Now at this point, you have them cut the deck anywhere they want. You've shown it's not the top card. It's not the bottom card. It's actually the second one down. But you show the bottom card. It's not. So, and then you explain it's somewhere in between. So that puts right in their mind that yes, it's somewhere in there. So now they can cut the deck anywhere they want, except for the last 4 cards once again, and I'll show you how to get out of that. Most of you can force somebody to cut the deck approximately where you want by just saying go ahead and cut the deck in the middle. You can go a little higher, you can go a little lower. All right, this will keep them fairly in the middle. All right, the less cards they take off the top, the more indicator cards it's going to take to get to their card, which is right there. If they cut it close to the bottom and they have a huge stack here and they're going to complete it like this, that's only going to leave you a few cards. All right, now if they cut it and there's less than 4 cards there, you're going to have to cut it again. All right, so don't tell them this is the final cut. So if they cut it really close down there and you're like, oh, I think they dug into my, doing one of these things. After they complete the cut, all you do is say, okay, now I'm going to do a final cut. Now you make sure you go about halfway in there and you do another cut. This will set you up. You're all set up. This is all automatic from this point. Now let's see what happens. So we pull the top card. That's not their card, it's an indicator card. 7 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Pull that 7th card over. It's a 3 of diamonds. Now we already know where that 3 of diamonds is. That replaced the 10 of diamonds. So we know where we're at already. 1, 2, 3. It's going to take us to that 7. 7 more cards. This should take us to the 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. See, there's our 5 of clubs. We know at this point that 5 cards down is their card. Now, since you know this, go ahead and spread these out and say, look, you know, your card could have been any one of these cards. It could still be in this deck. You know, sort of like, what are the odds of these numbers coming out like that? So you really build this up at this point. And you go 1, 2, 3, 4. What would be the odds if this is your card? And then you show it. And there it is, right there. And then you could turn these cards and show the faces of them. If you pull these cards out, you're pulling them out of order of your stack. So you're disguising that stack a lot more. Do one of these while they're looking at their card. You can say you can keep that as a souvenir. I mean, once you pick them all up, this deck is, they can examine it. They can look at the deck. It's not like it's a gimmick. There's no gimmick cards. It's not a trick deck. It's just regular cards with a little bit of twist on the order. If you want to, while they're looking at their card and you tell them they can keep that as a souvenir, you can do a quick riffle shuffle and you know, you're clean. There's nothing to hide anymore anyway. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for watching. Give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment. Give me, you know, your thoughts on it. And hey, thanks for watching.